I woke up as the villain cat. So I stole the CEO's money and opened a noodle shop.
I woke up as the villainess in a novel. But in Cat World, the plot demanded I be consumed by jealousy for the male lead's one true love, that I'd act out crazily and destructively until I was finally shipped off to a psychiatric hospital. I looked at the stunningly beautiful face in the mirror. Long white whiskers, huge emerald eyes, glossy calico fur that caught the light like silk, perfect little pink nose, perfect little mean girl ears. Then I looked down at the unlimited black card in my paw. Then at the walk-in closet overflowing with custom Hermes pet carriers, diamond-studded collars, and tiny designer dresses in every shade of sunset orange, bubblegum pink, and electric blue. I had to laugh. An asylum. Whoever wants to go can have my spot. I was done. I was checking out. I was going to take the male lead's money and live my own goddamn 9 lives. Liam Scott's paw was clamped around my neck. Hard. I couldn't breathe. He had just come from a funeral. He carried the cloying scent of lilies and damp earth, a scent that mingled strangely with his usual cold, crisp cedarwood and expensive catnip cologne. Bizarre combo. He was a tall, sleek black panther in a perfectly tailored black suit, his tail lashing. For so dark it absorbed light. "Vivian," he said, his voice low and deep, banked with fire. "You better pray that Lily is okay. If I ever see you imitate a single one of her expressions, a single one of her movements again." His claws tightened. "I'll make you wish you were dead." My neck throbbed. A tear escaped from the corner of my eye, an involuntary physiological response. Liam's gaze fixed on that single tear and turned even colder. I knew what he was thinking. In the novel, the villainous Vivian King loved nothing more than to imitate Liam's one true love, Lily White. When Lily cried, she looked exactly like this, pitiful, fragile, like a delicate white blossom. The Vivian from before had spent 3 months practicing how to cry just like that in front of a mirror. So now, this perfectly timed tear, Liam was convinced I was putting on another show. He flung my paw away. I stumbled, catching myself on the cold, hard surface of the vanity. My throat was on fire. Cough, cough, cough. I clutched my neck, hacking until my lungs ached. Liam looked down at me, his golden eyes filled with the kind of revulsion you'd reserve for a piece of trash stuck to your paw. "Remember my words. Stay away from Lily. If she doesn't wake up today, you'll be buried with her." Slam. The bedroom door shuddered in its frame. I leaned on the vanity, gasping. The girl in the mirror was a wreck. Fur ruffled, tears clinging to her lashes. But damn, she was beautiful. Vivian's face was a masterpiece. More vibrant, more aggressively stunning than Lily's innocent kitten next door purity. All bold calico patches and sharp eyeliner. Too bad the novel's male lead, Liam Clawford, only had eyes for Lily's type. A tiny, fluffy, all-white Persian with big round blue eyes who looked like she needed saving 24/7. He found Vivian's beauty garish and conniving. That's why no matter how she mimicked Lily, how she tried to please Liam, how she schemed to break them up, she was destined to lose her family, her fortune, and her sanity, ending her days in an asylum. Tragic. I touched the red marks on my neck. The stinging pain was a sharp reminder. This wasn't a dream. I had really been transported into a book. I was the villainous cat with the miserable ending. This was a key plot point. After Lily returned to the country, Vivian had arranged a minor car accident. Lily was physically unharmed, but had fainted from the shock. The original Vivian had cried and screamed, swearing her innocence while trying to throw herself at him in a sheer silk slip dress. Clearly, it was her intended weapon. A shiver ran down my spine. I snatched the thick, fluffy, bright yellow terry cloth robe with little duck prints from the back of a nearby chair and wrapped it tightly around myself. Buried with her? An asylum? No. No, thank you. I valued my 9 lives very much. I walked to the massive floor-to-ceiling window. Outside, the cat city glittered. Neon signs in hot pink and turquoise, cat towers that scraped the sky, flying fish-shaped cars zooming past. Beneath my feet was a priceless hand-woven rug that was perfect for scratching. My mind was made up. I was checking out. The male lead belonged to his true love. The money belonged to me. As for Lily, I hoped she would wake up immediately, healthy and vibrant. And I hoped she and Liam would be shackled together for eternity, just as long as they left me alone. Lily woke up the next morning. False alarm. Liam didn't show up. Perfect. More peace for me. The start of my grand retirement plan. Step 1. Move out of Liam's cold, minimalist, sad BOI penthouse. The place was too big, too empty, too gray, too cold. Terrible for my mental health and my bright color palette. I called a real estate agent. My instructions were simple. Downtown, spacious, single floor, stunning view, fully furnished, move-in ready, and sunny. That afternoon, I hauled my limited edition suitcases, all pastel with paw prints, into my new home. Over 3,000 square feet of open space, sunlight streaming through a massive curved window wall, walls painted peach and mint green. Cat trees that looked like giant mushrooms. A cloud sofa. I collapsed onto it. Finally life. Step 2, sort out my finances. Vivian might be obsessed with a man, but she was still the King family heiress. Her tuna trust fund alone was a fortune, and while Liam didn't love her, the Scott family cared about appearances. His monthly allowance to her account was astronomical. I opened my banking app. Seeing that endless string of zeros filled me with unfiltered joy. Forget villainous. I was basking in goddess-level wealth. Step 3. Sever every tie that could drag me back into the plot. In the story, Vivian had bribed Liam's assistants and hired private investigators to spy on him. Utterly ridiculous. I pulled up their contacts. Typed. Our arrangement is terminated. Final payment sent. Do not contact me again. Then block. Delete. Repeat. Finally, I opened the chat with Liam. The history was painful. A cringeworthy diary of unrequited devotion. Liam, it's cold today. Don't forget your scarf. Your tail will get chilly. Liam, I made salmon soup. Shall I send it? His replies were mostly K, no, or silence. The last message from yesterday. Liam, I know I was wrong. Please come home. I miss you. Secondhand embarrassment hit me like a truck. I typed, Mr. Scott, regarding yesterday I must clarify. I had no part in Ms. White's accident. I've moved out of the penthouse. Please contact me only if necessary. I wish you well. Perfect. Calm, distant, professional. Send. Then I renamed his contact the ATM and silenced his notifications. Finally, the world felt quiet. I ordered an over-the-top seafood tower, tuna sashimi, shrimp, crab legs, all the forbidden human food but for cats, grabbed an ice-cold catnip soda, and sank into the sofa to watch a mindless slapstick comedy. Days passed, and I let myself be. The old Vivian, always bending to Liam's tastes, had worn muted colors, dainty beige dresses, and walked delicately like she was afraid to crease the carpet. Now, baggy t-shirts with cartoon fish, ripped jeans, fluffy flip-flops, bare face, tail swishing freely. My new playground, hole-in-the-wall eateries, late-night fish markets, downtown arcades with flashing lights. 10 grilled mackerel skewers in one hand, a giant taro bubble tea in the other, whiskers shining with grease. Life was good. We were like two parallel lines. He lived in his meticulously scripted CEO life, and I thrived in mine, enjoying freedom, indulgence, and a little chaos. Until Liam's mother, Mrs. Scott, had her birthday. There was no avoiding this event. The Scotts were an elite, aristocratic family of panthers bound by rules and tradition. Mrs. Scott's birthday was always a grand affair held at their sprawling hillside estate. When I arrived, the ballroom glittered. Gowns, tuxedos, chandeliers shaped like moons, and an air thick with money and catnip perfume. To show a sliver of respect, I'd worn a simple long black slip dress. Safe, unremarkable. A silk scarf covered the faded marks on my neck. Light foundation, muted rose lipstick, brushed into a modest twist. Pearl studs. On another day, I might have blended in perfectly. Here, surrounded by she-cats who looked like they had robbed a high-end boutique, I looked plain, almost shabby. As expected, my entrance drew stares. Well, if it isn't Mrs. Scott, a shrill voice called. Mrs. Davenport, one of Vivian's old frenemies, a snooty Siamese with too much lipstick. She sauntered over. Vivian, darling, you look so plain. Didn't Liam get you anything new for today? She raised her voice deliberately. Perhaps Liam is a bit tight on funds. Or maybe some people's positions are becoming unstable. The old Vivian would have reacted, face red, snapping or running to Liam for consolation. Exactly what they wanted. Now I picked up a glass of champagne from a passing waiter, took a slow sip, and finally looked at Mrs. Davenport. You're looking well today, Mrs. Davenport, I said evenly. That foundation almost matches your neck and face. Almost. Her smile froze. And you, Mrs. Wallace? Absolutely dazzling. Is that the new centerpiece from the Scott jewelry collection? I seem to remember the price tag had quite a few zeros. Your husband is generous. Her smile vanished. She clutched her borrowed necklace like a lifeline. I walked away, leaving them flustered. I focused on what truly mattered, the food. Headed straight for the dessert station, I had just grabbed a tempting slice of Black Forest cake when an icy voice froze me in place. You certainly seem to be enjoying yourself. My paw trembled. Chocolate nearly slid off the cake. I turned. Liam stood a few feet away, impeccably tailored in black, tall and imposing. Next to him, Lily, a fluffy white Persian in a moon-white silk-sheath dress, hair cascading softly, gentle, flawless smile, fragile, fresh, like a delicate orchid needing protection. A stark, brutal contrast to my simple black dress. Liam's gaze flicked to the cake in my paw, then to my understated appearance. His brow furrowed. "Mother's looking for you," he said, his tone icy. "Go greet her and mind yourself. Don't disgrace the Scott family name." Lily tugged gently at his sleeve, her voice soft. "Liam, don't say that to Vivian. She looks nice today." Her eyes full of innocent apology met mine. Vivian. Liam didn't mean it like that. What a perfect little peacemaker. But the tiny glimmer of triumph in her eyes was unmistakable. I was too tired for their theatrics. "Got it," I said flatly. "I'm going." Then, right in front of them, I took the slice of Black Forest cake and shoved the whole thing into my mouth. Not elegant, not polite, just pure indulgence. My cheeks puffed, chocolate melting on my tongue. Bliss. Liam's brow twitched, his glare sharp as daggers. Lily's expression froze. I chewed, swallowed, grabbed a glass of wine, and without another glance, walked toward Mrs. Scott. After that, I gave a flawless, polite bow to my mother-in-law, said I wasn't feeling well and might pass along my germs, and left. Clean, decisive exit. Outside, the night air was cool and refreshing, full of cicadas and city lights. I called a ride share, standing on the side of the road with the Scott estate behind me, a vast cold cage. Freedom felt good. A little over a month later, Liam came looking for me. It was a rainy weekend afternoon. I was curled up on the sofa in a fluffy dinosaur onesie, a sobbing mess, clutching a large tub of triple fish ice cream while watching an old tearjerker. The doorbell rang. Video intercom. Liam, handsome, expressionless, damp from the rain. His sleek black fur was slightly spiked. After a pause, I buzzed him in. He entered, bringing with him a chill and the scent of rain. His eyes scanned my living room. Empty snack wrappers, half-eaten churro sticks, soda cans, the nearly empty ice cream tub still in my paws. Tear tracks streaked my cheeks. A total disaster. Disgust flashed in his eyes. "What is it?" I asked, grabbing a tissue to blow my nose. "Next month is grandfather's 80th birthday," he said flatly, like it was business. "It will be at the family estate. You are expected to attend." "Oh," I said, shoveling a giant spoonful of ice cream into my mouth. "Got it. Vivian, watch your manners." "Mr. Scott, I'm in my own home in pajamas eating ice cream and watching a movie. What kind of manners do you expect me to show?" His sharp gaze studied me like I had suddenly become a stranger. "What have you been doing lately? You haven't been bothering Lily." I almost laughed. "Liam, I told you before, Lily's accident had nothing to do with me. I'm busy enjoying my life. Don't worry. As long as you keep the deposits coming, I'll stay far away from both of you. You can have your epic, angsty romance. I'll just be a quiet on-paper Mrs. Scott." Liam's expression darkened. Curiosity, confusion, perhaps even a flicker of offense. "You better mean that." "Of course. Don't let the door hit your tail on the way out." He stood towering over me. "For grandfather's party. Dress appropriately." And just like that, he was gone. Grandfather Scott's 80th birthday was an even grander affair. Ancient and magnificent, gleamed with carved beams and lanterns. I had learned my lesson. I hired a stylist. We chose a conservative dark red velvet gown, long-sleeved, high-necked, revealing nothing but my wrists, hair in a flawless updo, small jade earrings. Demure, elegant, and utterly non-threatening. Perfect for the role of the on-paper Mrs. Scott. When Liam saw me, his gaze lingered briefly. Just a slight nod. Lily was there too, ethereal in a pale pink chiffon gown, sweet, fairy-like, standing by Liam. I ignored them, grabbed a glass of mango juice, and found a quiet corner. Until the banquet, seated at the massive round table, as granddaughter-in-law, I sat next to Liam, Lily at another table. Exquisite dishes followed. Lobster bisque, pan-seared sea bass, truffle-stuffed quail. I ate with gusto. Eat more, talk less, my motto. As wine flowed, Lily approached our table gracefully, glass of red wine in paw. "Liam, Vivian, I'd like to propose a toast to grandfather for a long and happy life." Liam looked at me silently, signaling it was my turn to play Mrs. Scott. I put down the half-eaten crab leg, wiped my paws, and raised my glass of fresh squeezed orange juice. "I'll stick with juice." Several elders now stared, disapproving. Liam's uncle frowned. "Vivian, Lily went out of her way to toast you. Juice, you have no manners." Liam's face darkened. "Vivian, pick up your wine," he commanded. Here we go again. A small spark of annoyance began to smolder inside me. I set down my juice glass. I grabbed a clean, small bowl from the table. Then, picking up the serving spoon from the centerpiece dish, I scooped a generous portion of the steaming, fiery Sichuan pepper beef, bright red, glistening with chili oil, the signature dish that made every cat's nose twitch. Under the stunned eyes of everyone present, I poured that massive spoonful, chili oil dripping, peppers glistening, into the glass of red wine Lily was holding. Sizzle! The wine instantly turned a murky, oily red with chili flakes and slices of beef floating on top. The room froze. Lily's face went white. Her paw trembled around the Sichuan beef red wine concoction. Liam sprang to his feet, ashen. "Vivian, what are you doing?" A vein throbbed in his temple. I calmly dabbed a few drops of chili oil from my paw with a napkin and tugged the corner of my mouth into a fake, insincere smile. "Weren't we making a toast? I call this one good fortune. My treat. Here's to you." Someone in the room couldn't hold it in and burst into laughter. Lily's tears finally spilled. Liam snatched the horrid concoction from her paw and slammed it onto the table. Chili oil splashed onto the expensive tablecloth. I met his gaze without flinching, almost wanted to laugh. "Mr. Scott, the toast is complete. May I get back to my crab leg? Or do you think my mere presence here is what's really embarrassing your family?" Finally, Liam grabbed his suit jacket, swept up the still-sobbing Lily and stormed out, rage and humiliation radiating from his back, his tail puffed to twice its size. I watched them disappear, then turned to the stunned, gaping crowd. Calmly, I picked up my half-eaten crab leg and continued eating. After that disastrous banquet, my relationship with Liam didn't just hit rock bottom. It plummeted straight to the earth's core. The story of Mrs. Scott humiliating the one true love by forcing her to drink chili oil-infused wine became the top gossip topic of cat Twitter for the year. I didn't care. Life went on. Liam never contacted me again. The allowance, however, was still deposited on schedule. Reliable, at least in that regard. The ATM was consistent. Until my useless mother showed up. Mrs. King, Vivian's biological mother, a woman who treated me not as a daughter, but as a tool. A sleek tortoiseshell cat with sharp claws. "Vivian, look at what you've done." She slammed a gossip magazine onto the coffee table. The cover screamed, "MRS, Scott's jealous rage. CEO storms out. All the other wives are laughing at me. Do you have any idea how much trouble the King family is in? Several of our projects depend on scraps from the Scott family." She lunged forward and snatched the bag of shrimp chips from my paws. "Eat, eat, eat. That's all you know how to do." I looked at her flushed, angry face and felt nothing. "So what do you want me to do? Go apologize to Liam. Beg that little brat Lily for forgiveness. Beg him to forgive you. And for heaven's sake, figure out how to get pregnant. Once you have a kitten, your position is secure." I stood up and walked to the window. "Mother, the money the King family spent raising me, I'll pay it back." She froze. "The monthly allowance Liam gives me untouched. Add that to my dowry and personal savings. Is that enough to cover the cost of raising me? If it's not enough, I have funds, stocks, and several properties I can liquidate." She was stunned, staring at me as if I were some mythical creature. "My future has nothing to do with the King family. My lawyer will handle it. Consider it my payment to buy back the kindness of raising me all these years. From now on, the King family is the King family and I am me. Ungrateful child. Viper. Then you don't have to worry about me anymore. The door is over there. Don't let it hit you on the way out." She stormed out. Her heels clicked furiously. I stood staring at the empty doorway. Relief didn't come. Instead, there was a hollow feeling in my chest. I shook my head, went to the fridge, grabbed a cold catnip beer, popped it open, and took a long swig. Bitter, but satisfying. All contact with the King family ceased. The world was finally completely quiet. Time passed quickly. Half a year later, late autumn. One day, I was at home binge watching a new food documentary about an old noodle shop tucked away in a quiet alley. The steaming bowl of red oil beef noodles on the screen. I threw off the blanket, slipped into a bubblegum pink hoodie and jeans, grabbed my phone and keys and bolted. None of the dramatic plot could compete with the siren song of noodles. I followed the GPS through a maze of streets and finally arrived at the unassuming little shop, Chen's Beef Noodles. The sign was faded and peeling. A few greasy folding tables and small plastic stools were set up outside. The air was thick with a rich aroma of beef broth and chili oil. When it was my turn, I ordered with gusto. 1 beef noodle, double beef. Add an egg. Extra spicy. That's when I heard it. A familiar soft voice tinged with grievance. "Liam, I really didn't expect this to happen. That Mr. Chun, It was Lily, wearing a white knit dress and beige trench coat, looking pure and fragile. Across from her, with his back to me, sat someone in a dark gray cashmere coat, broad shoulders, straight back. Liam. Just then, the lady boss arrived with my noodles. Miss, 1 double beef, extra egg, extra spicy. Careful, it's hot. Her booming voice drew attention. Liam's head turned. Our gazes locked. Time froze. Liam's pupils contracted into slits. He hadn't expected to see me here in a messy, greasy hole-in-the-wall noodle shop. Vivian King in a cheap hoodie and jeans, fur tied back carelessly, no makeup, sitting on a grimy plastic stool, a bowl of terrifyingly red noodles piled high with beef, and a fried egg in front of me. Lily gasped beside him. Vivian. I didn't look at them again. I picked up my chopsticks, stirred the glistening noodles, and lifted a large bundle to my lips. Slurp. Fragrant. Spicy, hot. Pure soul-shaking bliss. Liam's gaze didn't waver. Excuse me, he said suddenly. His voice wasn't loud, but even in the noisy environment, it carried that unmistakable tone of command. 1 bowl of beef noodles, Liam said. The same as hers. Double beef. Add an egg. Extra spicy. Lily's face drained of color. Liam, you can't eat spicy food. Your stomach. It's fine. Soon Liam's noodles arrived. He lifted the disposable chopsticks, snapping them apart with a slightly awkward motion. Panthers aren't built for chopsticks. He hesitated, then brought them to his lips. And then his perpetually stoic, perfectly composed face flushed a deep, comical red. It spread from the tips of his ears down his neck. Then came the coughing, violent, gut-wrenching, body-shaking coughing. Tears streamed down his face. His tail poofed. The cold, aloof CEO facade had completely crumbled. I couldn't help myself. A soft, suppressed laugh escaped. Pfft. Liam's head snapped up. His gaze, red and furious, cut straight to me. He finally shot to his feet, nearly tipping over his barely touched noodles. Let's go, he rasped at Lily. Without another glance at me, he grabbed a still-dazed Lily and practically fled, leaving the steaming bowl behind. Alone, I collapsed onto the small, greasy table, laughing until I couldn't breathe, my tail thumping against the stool. Tears streamed down my face. The great noodle incident of the year. Totally worth it. After that, Liam Scott seemed to vanish. Even the monthly allowance stopped. I checked my account. Plenty of money remained, enough to last 9 lifetimes. Fine by me. Life returned to its peaceful routine until winter turned to spring. Succulents on my balcony sprouted vibrant green shoots. One day I was at a newly opened hot spring resort in the suburbs. After a long, relaxing soak, for still damp, I shuffled to the buffet restaurant, plate of grilled shrimp and small cakes and paw, when I overheard a familiar argument from the other side of a partition. Lily, how long are you going to keep this up? Me? I'm not the one making a scene, Liam. That Vivian, she's a lunatic. The way she acted at the noodle shop, she deliberately made a fool of you. It has nothing to do with her. How can it not? You've changed since she reappeared. That's enough. His voice cut sharp. The buffet went silent. I forked a piece of cake into my mouth. Sweet, creamy. Lily's voice softened, heavy with grievance and fear. I'm so afraid of losing you, Vivian. Only I am the one who truly loves you. Liam went silent long enough that I thought they had left. Then he spoke, weary and distant. Lily, we both need to calm down. Don't come looking for me. I heard Lily's heels clicking quickly as she ran away in tears. Then, heavier footsteps approached in my direction. Liam appeared at my table, bathrobe loosely tied, damp fur plastered to his forehead, his pale face marked with faint dark circles. He looked exhausted. Less panther CEO, more stray cat who got caught in the rain. He simply stood there, watching me eat. You heard all that? He asked. I swallowed, wiped my paws with a napkin, then met his gaze. Yeah, the walls are thin. A corner of his mouth twitched, a fleeting, almost imperceptible smile. Sorry you had to see that. It's fine. I'm used to it. Vivian, he said. The way you are now, it's good. Thanks for the compliment. He ignored my sarcasm, eyes still steady. Before, I was wrong about you. I blinked. An apology, or some rare CEO epiphany. You're too kind, Mr. Scott. We're fine now. We don't bother each other. I stood, picking up my plate. Enjoy your meal. I'm leaving. A few steps later, his voice stopped me, stubborn, insistent. That bowl of noodles. I finished it later. I turned confused. It was very spicy, he said, ears slightly pink. But it was good. I looked at him. The tomcat who once threatened me, who once looked at me like I was worthless, now awkward, obstinate. Oh, that's nice. You could try mild next time. I walked away without another glance. Winter turned to spring again. My phone rang. Unknown number. Is this Miss Vivian King? I am Mr. Liam Scott's attorney, Mr. Chin. A lawyer? Divorce. Mr. Scott's wishes are that the terms of the agreement be entirely at your discretion. The apartment you currently reside in, as well as all funds previously transferred to your personal accounts, will remain your sole property. As compensation, furthermore, if you have any other demands. I don't. I cut him off. Let's do it, as he said. When do I sign? Moments later, a new email arrived. I scrolled straight to the last page. Signature line. With a flourish of my paw, I signed my name. Vivian King. No hesitation, no regret, only the sweet relief of finality. From this day forward, Vivian King was completely, utterly free. The divorce finalized quietly. When I held the crisp new decree, it felt like a passport to a new life. The first thing I did was put the apartment on the market. 10% below market value. I wanted a quick sale. On handover day, I stood at the door with the same limited edition suitcase I had arrived with. Goodbye, Mrs. Scott. On the other side of the city, in an old bustling neighborhood full of bright graffiti and fairy lights, I rented a small street-front shop, maybe 100 square feet with a tiny back room for living. It had been a bubble tea shop that had gone bust. I took it over, painted the walls white and pastel pink, installed second-hand stainless steel counters, hung cat paw garlands, and hung a simple neon sign that buzzed in hot pink. Viv's Noodles. Opening day was quiet. Just a few firecrackers. Hey, a new noodle shop. The owner's young and pretty. Can she even cook? I stood behind a steaming pot, apron on that said, "Kiss the cook and glitter," tail swishing to the lo-fi music. The aroma of beef bone broth, simmered all night, filled the air. Grand opening special for 3 days. Buy 1 bowl of beef noodles, get 1 free. Curious locals wandered in. I worked with precision. Boiling noodles, pouring broth, piling beef, sprinkling bright green scallions. Bowl after bowl went out, steaming and fragrant. Word spread quickly. Viv's Noodles became a neighborhood sensation. Lines often formed outside. I was a one-woman whirlwind. Cooking, plating, taking orders, collecting money. Exhausted, yes, but fulfilled. One day at noon, just after the lunch rush, I was sitting on a small stool, rubbing my aching back when the wind chime on the door tinkled. Welcome. What can I get for you? The menu's on the wall. I called out without looking up. 1 bowl of beef noodles. A deep, familiar male voice. My paw froze mid-rub. I looked up. Liam Scott was standing in the doorway. He wasn't wearing his signature expensive suit, just a simple black button-down shirt. Sleeves casually rolled to his elbows, revealing strong forearms. His hair wasn't slicked back. A few strands fell across his forehead. He looked less sharp, more weary. He looked at me, at my small, crowded, chaotic noodle shop, at my grease-stained apron, at my pale, tired face. "Mr. Scott, how did you find this place?" "My lawyer mentioned it," he said, spotting a small plastic stool that was way too low for his long panther legs. He folded himself awkwardly, looking almost comical. "You want noodles?" "Yes. Beef noodles with double beef and an egg." He paused, ears twitching. Mild. I looked at him. He looked back calm with a gaze I couldn't quite decipher. Not pity, not charity, not curiosity, more like confirmation. All right, 1 moment. I worked efficiently, boiling water, adding noodles, draining them, pouring in hot bone broth, piling on a generous layer of beef, frying a golden-yolked egg, and placing it on top. Finally, a sprinkle of green onions and a little heart-shaped fish cake. "Your noodles." Mild. The aroma filled the small space. He picked up disposable chopsticks, broke them apart, and lifted a tangle of noodles to his lips. His movements were still a bit clumsy, but deliberate. He chewed slowly, then nodded. "It's very good," he said, sincere. I offered a slight smile. "That'll be $25. Cash or card?" I pointed to the QR code on the wall. Liam froze. A flicker of shock passed over his face. He pulled a crisp $100 bill from his wallet. "Keep the change." I didn't take it. "Mr. Scott, this is a small business. I don't run tabs and I don't take tips. $25. Please scan." After a long moment, he put the bill away, took out his phone, and scanned the QR code. Beep. Payment received. $25. A cold electronic voice announced. "Thank you for your business," I said, offering a professional smile. "Enjoy your meal." I turned to the back of the shop where a mountain of dishes awaited. The sound of running water and clattering bowls filled the space. In the front, Liam Scott sat alone, his bowl of noodles steaming in front of him, quietly savoring each bite in my bright, noisy, warm little world that had absolutely nothing to do with him anymore.